Ladies and gentlemen, live from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977 is Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 2641 of the show. And this will, once again, October 29, 2025, 10:30 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the AEW Dynamite Event Center Fright Night. It is 2 days before Halloween. What about it? I don't know, but it is what it is. And it's all about wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see what happens here, okay? Kicking it off is a trick-or-treat tornado tag match between Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin going up against Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. And this was a heck of a matchup. No DQ. Anything goes. It's been a crazy matchup. But in the end, Cassidy and Allin ended up winning the matchup. And Hook. His name is Hook. Can't read my own handwriting. Hook addresses the Fatal 4-Way matchup and Samoa Joe. It seems like he wants to make sure that Samoa Joe does not walk away the number one contender. Looks like Hook's now, I think, pretty upset with Samoa Joe. Says he's showing you two colors. And Renee Paquette interviews Don Callis about the Don Callis family summit. And the Young Bucks interrupt Don Callis. And he said, they apologize, said hi, and all that. They feel bad. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? You don't have to worry about it. Just think about joining forces with me. Well, right now, I'm going to help you guys out by doing this. Tells everybody, play their entrance and let me introduce them. And he introduced the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are like, okay. All right. And they're like, all right. And then all of a sudden the fireworks come up and scare the witch out of one of the Young Bucks in the floor. And they're like, okay, yeah. So, so the Fatal 4-Way tag match, number one contenders match, whoever wins this matchup will face Bro Dito for the belts at Full Gear. The Young Bucks versus FTR, which Stokely joined on commentary for. Jet Speed, that's the team of Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight. And Jurassic Express, that's Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. So who won that matchup? FTR will get another opportunity claiming the tag team titles yet again. FTR is one of the best tag teams of this millennium, let me tell you. Because, you got FTR, capturing all the titles. Capturing every single title. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW. I think they weren't TNA Impact Tag Team Champions. I know they were Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions at one point. Where they were operating with the Briscoes. God rest the soul of Jay Briscoe. But FTR got a chance to make history again. Then they had the Don Callis family summit, but no Konosuke Takeshita. Come to find out that he's having travel problems, so he wouldn't be there. Or is something going on? Then Rocky Romero presented Don Callis with a painting of him and the entire family, and each of them, I think him and Kyle Fletcher had a chance to say something. As Fletcher was talking, Konosuke Takeshita finally arrives and was staring a hole through Kazuchika Okada, the unified champion. And, he's about to go after him. And then Don Callis said, no, wait. You were the first one. I called you the Alpha. We're all Alphas here. And he tried to defuse the situation, telling Konosuke, go shake Okada's hand. And Okada, Konosuke Takeshita says, fine, I'll do it. He extended his hand, and Okada was about to go for it, but he flipped off Konosuke Takeshita, making him angry. Everybody in Don Callis' family had to separate these two. And, Don Callis says, I'm going to I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you guys get along as a tag team and as family. I put you in a tag team matchup on Collision this Saturday. And guess who he puts them up? And guess who they going up against? The former acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, who can't stand each other. Oh, great! It's gonna be a tag team matchup with with both members of each team not getting along. This is gonna be. I mean, like what the heck is AEW doing? Like, is this gonna turn into a fatal four-way, or we could see partners turn on each other, and I think one of those partners will be a new member. I got a feeling in that matchup we might see another member of the Don Callis family coming out of this. I got a weird feeling about it. I just do. So, and then Olympia, who will be from CMLL, who will be challenging Mercedes Moné for the CMLL Women's World Title at Collision this Saturday. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this develops. Then Renee Paquette interviewed Chris Statlander and said, "Hey, Mercedes Moné, you want to come find me? You know where to find me. I'm not too hard to find." Then Kyle O'Reilly went one-on-one with Jon Moxley. These two beating the stuffing out of each other. It got to the point where Kyle O'Reilly hit Moxley with a submission hold outside the ring, but they were both counted out. It was a double count out. And then Maria Shafir, not very happy about the decision, punches Aubrey Edwards. I'm like, what the heck is this woman thinking? And Claudio Castagnoli comes in, attacks Kyle O'Reilly. Then Roderick Strong comes to his aid. And then Wheeler Yuta comes around. Daniel Garcia shows up. And then the rest of the conglomerations, Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, aided the Paragon. And Darby Allin came back. Darby Allin said, "Where are you going?" And Orange Cassidy comes back out. And then Allin and Briscoe addresses the Death Riders. So, and then Mark Briscoe goes, Orange Cassidy, tell him what's up. And he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to say it. And then he ended up saying, it's blood and guts. So there'll be a blood and guts tag matchup. And and Jon Moxley got a look of shock and fear on his face. The last thing he wants to do is deal with that. And then, after the commercial break, here comes Mercedes Moné attacking Chris Statlander in the back to the ring. And then Athena ends up helping out Mercedes Moné by attacking Statlander. And then the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and the lovely, gorgeous, and curvaceous, babylicious, funny babe herself, the Aussie Angel, I like to call her, Harley Cameron, came to assist Chris Statlander. Will Harley Cameron be the key to bring Statlander and Willow Nightingale back as friends? Harley brings people together. And she brings me together on a whole different level, if you know what I mean. I like Harley Cameron. Say what you will about her, she's brought a bright future in wrestling. And Bandito, who will be taking on Mascara Dorada, another rematch at Collision, had a documentary of him having his grandmother see him for the very first time as a wrestler, which is so sweet and so super cool, and it was a beautiful moment. Then the quarterfinal of the AEW Women's Tag Team titles, Queen Amanat and Damien Hayter versus the Sisters of Sin. That will be the team. That'll be 2/3 of the Triangle of Madness. Sky Blue and Julia Hart. And Tekka gets involved during the matchup. And the Sisters of Sin end up winning that matchup in no advance. They'll take on the winner of Mercedes Moné and Athena and the Babes of Wrath in the left-hand side of the bracket. But on the right-hand side, there's a bit of a problem. Come to find out, there's a lot of rumblings that Penelope Ford suffered an injury. Tony Schiavone was interviewing her and Megan Bayne, and said, she tore her UCL, and I'm out indefinitely, don't know when I'm going to come back. And then Tony Schiavone, what's this mean for you? Megan Bayne says, I can make history. And if anybody else wants to make history, step up. And then Marina Shafir looks at her, says, I'm listening. And then all of a sudden, she offered a fist bump. Both women fist bump, and then John Mox looked at these two. Oh, I'll tell you what, Tainara Mello and Anna J, Tay J, ladies, get your work cut out for you. And I got 2 words for you: plan up. You're gonna have to do something. Marina Shafir. Now, a lot of people thought that would be Mercedes Monet's former bodyguard Camille Brickhouse. If that was the case, then this tournament would have been over, and Bane and Brickhouse could have walked away. Yeah, you talk about Bane and Brickhouse, the new killer bees. I don't know, but Megan Bane and Marina Shafir as a team. Oh boy, whoever survives that one will have to face. If I were Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa and Alex Windsor and Riho, ladies, plan up. So, but first, Ty J will have to plan up. Then the fatal 4-way number 1 contenders match between Samoa Joe, Hook, Bobby Lashley, and Ricochet for the world title. Whoever wins that matchup will get a title shot Full Gear. And heck of a matchup this was. It could have gone either way until Samoa Joe slaps in the coquina clutch on Hook, and Hook had suffered a back, suffered a hurt back. He would have gotten the way one, but Samoa Joe wins it, prompting a rematch for Full Gear. And then the Tony Schiavone congratulated him as Powerhouse Hobbs and Katsuyori Shibata celebrate with him, congratulating him, and said, And then Tony Schiavone goes, let's get our friends out for the contract signing. And they all like the penguin, and a penguin costume, a pizza guy in a pizza costume, guy on a black ninja costume, and a bull costume, and Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, a chicken, a pizza. So Samoa Joe looked at the contract and said, I want to make sure I'm safe. Guys, make sure I'm safe. So they cleared out the riffraff, and they let the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in the ring. And because I know last year it was the last time the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man made an appearance, he was disguised as Hangman Adam Page. Apparently he wasn't, so they tossed him out. And then Samoa Joe signed the contract. He says, I'm about to be your world champ again. I'm sorry, boys, for the damage being made. And then Tony Schiavone says, let's have a toast for Samoa Joe and for the matchup, and let's have a toast for Hangman Adam Page, one of the best wrestlers in the world, and cowboy shit. Excuse my language. And then the voice changes, and found out that it was at Hangman Adam Page disguised himself as Tony Schiavone, attacking both Hobbs and Katsuyori Shibata, and it breaks the beer bottle over the head of Samoa Joe. And I'll tell you what, the security came out to separate the two of them, and I'll tell you one thing, this feud is going to get bowling shoe ugly next week. I'll guarantee you that. Well, that's all the time there is. That's all the time there was, ladies and gentlemen, of this episode right now. Like I said, tomorrow we got Pressure Luck, we got TNA Impact, and we got the Rant and Rave Halloween special. I'm going to dress up. I'm not going to tell you who I'm going to dress up as. Just got to tune in for that. Well, that's it. That's all there is to it. So, I'll see you guys later, and good night, everybody. I'm going to upload these videos. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.